Hello, everyone. So we are going to talk about a topic today, and I titled this live, "Whose energy is it anyways?" Possibly off-world beings. So oftentimes we think, and I know this is part of my story, and I did a little bit of a live on this the other day, but I really want to keep this in sync and make a point, because when I have a point to make, it's important to me to be able to talk about that and make that point in a clear way that hopefully doesn't take too long to communicate to others. So we might think it's our energy. We often think it's our energy, and it's not our energy. And my story with this is was a healer, energetic healer, doing a lot of beautiful work and all the things. There's something when someone becomes an energetic healer, and you can have this without being a healer. There's something called ascension symptoms. So as you clear things, as you clear, the whole point of energy work, well, one of the points is to clear things out of someone's body, out of someone's field. So we have many different bodies. We have the energetic body, we have the mental body, we have the physical body, dimensional body, emotional body, spiritual body. I don't think I'm missing anything. So we have these bodies, and as a healer, which we could call ourselves clearers, we want to go through and clear those bodies of everything that is not serving a person within this lifetime, within other lifetimes, so alternate selves, and also within the field, the energetic field. You might not believe this, but I am not BSing you, that when I say everything that we experience, and I mean everything, has an energetic imprint. There is an energy behind everything, behind money, behind wealth, which is money, behind health, behind relationships. So you would be surprised, or maybe not surprised, at the amount of people that I talk to that tell me, well, Marilee, I'm just not feeling good. I'm just sick. And I know that place. And we want to honor ourselves when we're sick. And if I felt sick, I would go lay in bed and drink warm, some warm tea or broth or whatever, and really nurture myself. That's very important. And the amount of people I don't think that realize that our health symptoms, there is an energy attached to that when that's happening. There were many times that as a healer, I would be doing my thing, being a healer, all the things, and I would feel off sometimes. And I was even told, I'm like, well, that's an ascension symptom. You're just purging. That's an ascension symptom. And whereas that can be true, there are ascension symptoms as we clear all the bodies. There are ascension symptoms that happen. And hello to everyone that's joined. There are ascension symptoms, but really also there are many other things going on, and that's what I want to talk about today. To just be healers and continually call it an ascension symptom, we might not know the truth about what's really going on. So when I started getting more in tuned, and there are ways to do that, I don't care who you are, I care who you are, but no one's any different. This is available to everyone. Everyone has ways that they can tune into their own body, into their own intuition. Everyone has different ways that they receive, but that we can get information and get very clear. So when I started getting real clear on what was going on for me and asking some pretty deep questions and figuring out exactly what was going on, what I started to see that actually about 30%, and that went a little lower, went a little higher some days, I was about 30% in my own energy. I was very shocked at this. I'm like, what? So the things that I thought were ascension and purging symptoms, which people do not have to be healers to have this happening to them. They don't have to be healers or energy workers or all the ways, visionaries, helpers, all the ways that we help people, and we're ascending to really, I'm going to talk a little bit about a new earth today. Eckhart Tolle had that beautiful book, that I would feel that I was really having 30% in my own energy. Oh my goodness. So what is that? And many of the symptoms that I thought were ascension or purging symptoms, or me being sick, or having brain fog and confusion in my head, or like arthritis type stuff in my joints, fibromyalgia type feelings, anxiety, fear. Those are two big ones, anxiety, fear, or depression. And I have some great stories around this that I probably won't go too much in today because we're live and I don't want to sit here and talk forever because everybody will get off. But really that I am still floored. I will think to myself this, and it's less and less I think this now, because I trained myself to start investigating what was going on. But I will think, oh my gosh, I'm just really sad. I have a daughter. She doesn't want to be in my life. She's had her moments, but really we're estranged. And I was very sad about that. That was something that is a valid reason to be sad about, with a family member not wanting to be in your life. You know what? I'm not sad about it today, which is amazing. That's what healing can do for us. But I would just be in bed and crying and like, oh my gosh, and this is just so terrible. Maybe there was something like a reminder of her, or something would happen where she lives with another family member of mine where I needed to try to contact, like there was a reason I would have a memory, and I would just be really sad. And I started seeing that even the valid points of when I would feel these things that were very valid, to be like, yeah, I'm just tired today. Or yeah, this is just something I'm really sad about. Or, this is a reason to have a little bit of anger and anxiety around this situation. Like, look what's happening. And when I really started investigating, that I started to deeply see that it wasn't my own energy, even in the valid situations. So I will ask you, do you have any of those valid situations in your life that maybe could be investigated? So we're going to get into here, then whose stuff is this? What's going on? Because the goal is, and this is what I help people with, is to be 100% in my own energy. I'm getting goosebumps saying that, because when we are 100% in our own energy, the body's natural state is to heal, is to be vibrant, is to be prosperous, is to have joy. Not all the time, we're not perfect, but to have these states of abundance in all areas. And again, we can all get there too. So here's some of the things, alternate selves. We can be experiencing feelings, or it can come out as a feeling in us from an alternate self or an alternate lifetime. This will go in, I'll do some more talks about this. I've done them, but I think they've erased in the group, that we get fractaled out. There's fractals, and really to come into the whole of everything. But some of those fractals, some of those energies that are going out as multidimensional beings, because we are multidimensional beings, that is from alternate selves, these other lifetimes that we've had, these other versions of us, and how we've shown up in those areas. So that could be one piece that we're feeling. Not everyone is the same. When I do this for people and I look into it, there are differences with what people are feeling. There can also be a soul destiny partner. And this can be from this timeline, or it can be from another timeline. That is not a twin flame. The whole thing with the twin flame is very, I don't know, we're not going to get into that topic. But we do have soul destiny partners. And that can be people, and there can be more than one, that either we were brought here to help or they were brought here to help us. And I thought for sure my daughter was one of those people. She is not, which is very, very surprising to me. I do have a family member that is one of them. Also, mass consciousness is another one. We can be feeling mass consciousness. This is all the things going on in the world. That's part of it. There is a collective of fear right now. Fear of a lot of things that have been happening, either politically, government, all the things, the painful things. So mass consciousness is another. There can be alternate mass consciousnesses. I hope I said that right. The Infoverse, which is all of creation, is another place. Some of us, I am not one of these people, but I have friends that are, can be feeling things from other countries. I know a woman that feels a lot of stuff from China. She doesn't live there. She lives in the States. So there are reasons that happens, but that can be one of the places. Mother Earth. Some of us we're all really connected to Mother Earth, but some of us will feel things going on with Mother Earth more than others. The other place, entities, any entities, off-world beings, which I'm going to talk a little bit about today, all of humanity, and other either earth angels, and this goes into my soul work that I do, earth angels, star seeds, you could say ET. My friends like, Marilee, just say the word ET more. So star seeds or ETs or indigos. So a lot of us have, even if we don't know it, even if you're just like, whatever, Marilee, that's woo-woo, and you're just talking whatever, silly, that we actually have origins, a lot of us, or what we can call a soul type. And we might have more than one, we might not. We can also have soul types that can be with us that are not for our highest and greatest good. Some of them will be, some of them cannot be. So that is when I was feeling 30% of my own energy and I went deep into this work. It's like, oh my gosh, I actually am a sovereign being. Now, I don't have the definition of sovereignty in front of me. It's one of my favorite words. It means that, so I'm going to give you my definition off my experience and off the top of my head, that really, like, I'm in control of my own body, my own energy, and I get to say as a sovereign being what comes in and what comes out. And that is true. And it's such an empowering statement. What comes in and what comes out. So we just had a long list. Oh my gosh. Well, actually, as a sovereign being, we can either, you can call it healing all of it, or clearing, or just coming into alignment with all of this. Because as energetic beings, these things are going to come in. And so we are sovereign beings, and we get to have what comes in and what comes out. Now I'm going to switch the conversation a little bit to one area of this that I talked about the other day. A lot of the work, some of the work that I do, and I'm sort of pivoting in this area, is intergalactic work. And so I mentioned the word starseed. I also mentioned the word ET. We don't have to go into depth with this. Many people that I see with health problems, including myself, and this includes mental and physical health, will have these pieces. There will be energies coming in that are not theirs, and it is showing up in their body. That does not mean that everyone is communicating with starseeds or off-world beings or ETs, whatever words you want to use. It is not a weird thing to say. I will tell you, I'm going to just go off for a minute and tell you about like my heart's mission and passion and part of my soul mission. So everyone has a soul mission. And I only found this out through stepping into and healing, bringing healing into me, and really going in and tapping in to the divine. source, God, whatever you call it, also beings of love and light, and 100% beings of love and light, and that's a different topic, to really explore. We all have a soul mission. So part of mine is to help bring peace to this earth and enlighten this earth, not in an egotistical way. It's just, we all have these paths. And this was not something that I was excited about in the beginning. I was like, what the heck? And so through helping others to communicate with off-world beings, there are many of us that are having this communication starting to happen. And again, you do not need to be an energetic healer. You do not need to be someone that's on this deep spiritual path. It can happen to many people without them even knowing it. And it can happen to many people. I am a mom. It can happen to many children as well. And we might think that it might look like other things going on for them or for us, but really that's what's happening, is there is communication coming in from other beings. I'm going to bring out of that topic a little bit today, the ET Starseed piece. Off-world beings, there are also things like, there's the angelic realm, and there's different beings that can come into play. And for today, I'm going to talk about ET Starseeds. So part of my story briefly is that even though I was a healer, still had a lot of pain in my body and joints. I did feel like some fibromyalgia type stuff. I had a long path of really cleaning up the foods I was eating. And so my head would be like, oh, it's nutrition. I need to figure out the foods. Let me jump to a new way of clean eating again. Well, really, it wasn't the foods. It wasn't the foods. And that can be helpful to eat really healthy. So there was a lot of pain, joints, head. If people have head symptoms, ringing in the ears is something that a lot of people sort of know, or healers can experience, because maybe they're a psychic or they're a channeler. And by the way, we all have those capabilities. All of us can be taught to channel and our psychic abilities. And there are ways to do that. And so ringing in the ears can also be another one, tinnitus, vertigo, but also the brain fog piece, a lot of head symptoms, fuzziness in the head. I said joints, and also like a sort of anxiety in the body. Now, all these can be different. I had a friend that had a lot of gut issues. She was not able to keep food down. And what was going on is she was having a lot of ET communication. So I help people see if this is happening for them or not. Because again, I don't want to get on here and do this live and have everyone be like, oh my God, ETs or starseeds or whoever off-world beings are communicating with me. That might not be the case at all. It might be the foods. There might be like a health symptom or something in the body which we can also address energetically, actually. I went in and healed my bone marrow through energetics. Amazing. And, that goes into our organs and all the things. Again, different topic. But a lot of us will resonate with what we're talking about, and we want to see if it's true. We want to be like, yeah, that's happening for me, or yeah, that's not happening for me. And I help people do that. But I want to talk about when I found out this piece through trial and error as a healer. I went on a deep journey and ended up healing a lot of my health symptoms through being able to heal the communications that were coming in. I want to talk about this more and more because I think that a lot of healers or people that are doing healing work don't realize what's going on, and they think it's ascension symptoms when really it's not. And really there are things that we can do to deeply heal the piece so our ascension symptoms don't feel so out of control. And or for me, it just didn't get better. It just kept not getting better because they were communicating with me very strongly the more I ascended. Now, some of the starseeds, I'm not going to go into the whole ET discussion today because there are some that are not friendly, that are lower vibration. And we don't want that coming in. And you heard me say the word entities. That can also happen for dark entities. There are pieces like that that we want to look at and see. But there are also very loving friends. And that's really, and then I get the chills. They are our friends. They want to communicate with us because they love us. They want us to move into a new earth. I'm getting chills big time right now, and I'm almost going to cry. They want us to be able to come into what a lot of them have known, which is peace, which is supporting one another, which is love for everyone, a deeper love than probably any of us have known. Not struggling to take care of ourselves, not struggling to eat or pay our bills. Talk about abundance in all areas. And also they're coming in, and this is a part of my work, is they are coming in to communicate with us because they have ways to heal us. These ancient wisdoms, when you hear me talk about ancient wisdoms, they have ways for us to heal that we can't even imagine. And I'm not saying this is fact. I am not a doctor. Please don't come stone me. But they are coming in because they have ways that go way beyond modern medicine. That and all the areas. In mental health, in physical health. They have ways that they can come in and share their wisdom with us. And that's a lot of what's happening and they're trying to do. Not all of them. Again, there are things that are less lower vibration, but we can step into our sovereignty and get the communication that is going to be in the highest good for everyone. And we can heal. And part of this is stepping into a new earth where there is love, where there is peace, where there is supporting for everyone, where there's a right livelihood, where there's not these struggles that are happening, and they want to help us, show us. And so if you think about the pyramids, because a lot of them communicated long times ago or in other lifetimes, they communicated with some of our ancestors, like the Egyptians. Still getting big chills. Egyptians, the Mayans, a lot of our ancient civilizations. And that is how they brought in these ancient wisdoms to build these giant structures of, like, if you think about the pyramids. And they brought that, I'm going to just briefly mention the word sacred geometry. And so some of these are the Palladians. And I have a huge long list here. It's so big, so I'm going to look at my list so I don't get off topic. Loving, heart-centered, and gentle teachers. I have Palladian origins. The Arcturians, technology, advanced, and master healers. Listen to that. Like the Palladians can share what it's like to have an open heart and this deep love that I'm talking about, that many humans, even if they think that they've known this love, have probably never tapped into in their lives. And gentle teachers. Arcturians, technology, advanced, way more advanced again than what we know. Master healers, going into the body and being able to cure it from disease. There are ways to evolve the human body, and this is part of my work that I've been putting protocols around and everything, ways to evolve the human body to be able to communicate. There's the Syrians, wise, ancient, deeply spiritual. Andromedans, freedom-orientated, creative innovators. The Lyran, feline ancestry, original founders. There's the Anunnaki, genetic engineers, polarity teachers. And again, I could sit here and talk about this all day. So that's what they're coming in to do. But here's the thing, is there's frequency. And I also love to work with frequency. Many of you might have known that some types of music or different things we listen to, hertz, can help be healing. Sound baths or, gongs, that kind of healing is very beautiful. And everything has a frequency. And as humans, we don't even know the immense amount of frequencies that are out there. And I'm also diving into this work. So when an off-world being communicates with a human body, the human body's frequency is different than that frequency that they are communicating with us. Our bodies are not used to their communication. Some of them are embodied beings, some of them not embodied. So our bodies are not used to handling it. And that is what a lot of times is going on, where these communications are coming in. And it's like, oh my gosh, well, our body is not used to that frequency. And for some of us, so let's say some of us are doing healing, or you might know what I'm talking about. You might already know a lot of what I'm talking about. Oh, cool. Let's go find out what our starseed origin is. And then, like me, you're like, oh, cool. I'm going to go find out what my starseed origin is. You tap into your starseed origin, which, by the way, not everyone has. There are pieces, and that's a bigger topic, thinking you're going to like evolve and have this great experience, and all of a sudden, here's all this pain in your body. Oh my goodness, what just happened? Because our bodies are not meant to handle that often. Or these people that might not even know what I'm talking about, and there's this ET interference going on. And there's also stuff like mind control and all that, but we won't talk about that today. And all that can be healed energetically. But it starts coming in, so we want to be able, and I'm so blessed to have found ways to do this, to go into our bodies and evolve our body. It doesn't mean I'm still sitting here, I'm still merely, I'm still a human, you know, I can still have a sniffly nose. Like, it doesn't mean we're gonna shift, you know, here on earth into we'll still be ourselves, but we can evolve our bodies, just like I can go in and heal my bone marrow energetically. And I'm not professing to be a doctor again, but just there are ways that we can evolve the body. So I wanted to bring this discussion here today and just talk a little bit about this. I'm going to be doing a free 5-day event around a lot of this, and also some other things. I'm going to have a small thing for people. It'll be like $7, and you can come join me. I will tap in and find out what your origins are, what your, if you do have ET communication coming in, what your origins are, and do a mini energetic assessment on you. And then also attached to that will be a group chat for people to communicate and be part of a community. And then also we will be able to I'm going to do a big healing, a group healing for everyone around that. So those are just a couple of the things I'm doing. But I wanted to let everyone start knowing and talking about this because it's so important. And so it's so vital for those of us that feel like this is a beautiful thing, and to be able to learn, and I teach others this, to communicate with off-world beings and do that and tap into their soul mission and learn to work with energy and all the things. But for those of us who it feels not good to be a healer, or it feels hard, or our body hurts, and we're confused, and we might feel a fuzzy feeling that doesn't feel good. We might have brain fog. We might have stuff in the ears. We might have pain in our joints. We might have stuff in the gut. We might have fibromyalgia or thing in the arms. There can be deep pain in some of these arm places and a number of other places in the body. For those of us that are experiencing that, and you resonate with what I say, I want you to know that there is hope, and there is clearing, and that we all are sovereign beings, and we can even set as an intention today, and I will think about one that is pretty powerful, but for right now, I command that I am 100% a sovereign being in all versions of me, in all directions, with ease, speed, and grace. That is an intention or command you can start saying. Intentions are very powerful to work with, and they have a lot to do with healing. So thank you for being here. I love you guys, and I look forward to seeing everyone again soon. Have a wonderful night or evening wherever you are.